Yo, yo, what's up, everybody? Yo, Charles, what kind of beer are you drinking right now?
Uh, I'm drinking Stella.
Nice. Yeah, it's like that's my old man's favorite beer. That and Heineken.
Yeah, it's okay. I like Kronenberg. I'm a Kronenberg man.
Mmm. Yeah, Kronenberg's pretty good. What about fucking that white beer? Ah, it's a Belgian, I think.
Ah, shit.
It'll come back to me.
It will. It will. I know the one too.
Yeah, it's so
Leffe?
good, man.
Is it Leffe? Leffe?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah. It's a good
my
beer, man.
man.
It's good. It's a little bit sweet for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
okay.
used to like sweet beer, sweet drinks, and now I'm like kind of bitter, you know.
You've the tone has changed.
Yeah, exactly, man. Now I'm like, no, just give me whiskey.
Do you think that's like a chemical thing in the body where you start craving something else or something different?
Maybe.
Like, why
Maybe
do you
I'm
think
like,
tastes change?
I think it's so like I don't know. I guess as you get older, your like tolerance to and the hit that you get from food and from drink, whatever it is, like
Is
it gets
lessened.
hard. Yeah, exactly. So like, rich food becomes less rich as you're older. Like when you're younger, if you eat rich food, it's like this is crazy, this is so salty, this is like so flavorful. As you
Mhm.
get older, it's like, no, this is boring, give me some fucking caviar. So it's like it's an older man's game, to eat
Yeah.
like rich food and drink like, oh, let me drink this crazy whiskey. I think it's like, because you're always looking for that, like that hit of flavor and
Hmm.
like strength. That's my guess anyway.
Yeah, no, it's true. We start appreciating the finer things, the better off
Oh,
we
we
get,
do.
and
Yeah.
it
Or
can
just
some.
more
Hmm.
obnoxious, like
Yeah.
like wine, for example. Like
Hmm.
Gary Vee has this really good fucking opinion on wine. He's like
Hmm.
there's too many people who are like, oh, this is bad wine, this is good wine. It's like, shut the fuck up, man. Just drink the fucking wine. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, then just fucking move on, buy another bottle.
Yeah, his wine library, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
He had created that. Yeah, at some point we were talking about Gary Vee on another stream, and a
Oh,
bunch of
for
people.
real.
Yeah, a bunch of people were dissing him. I'm like, yo, hold up. I like
He's a
Gary Vee.
hustler, man. Like, oh, he's fucking annoying. Don't get me wrong, but he's a hustler. You have to respect people like that.
I've never found the dude annoying, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I no. Do you know what?
You know?
You're right, and I think maybe I only found him annoying because like I was in a bad mood and I opened Instagram and like one of his little like clip videos comes up
Okay.
and he's like, "You're fucking lazy," and I'm like, "You know what? You're fucking right. I am lazy. Fucking leave me alone."
Yeah, you're
And
like,
then
I
I just
know.
scroll past, like, "Leave me alone, Gary." That's probably why I find him annoying, but.
He like
Yeah,
reminds you.
no, he's inspirational. He's a hustler, man. I respect anyone who's hustling like him.
Is there anyone in the crypto space that has a similar energy?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't think so,
No one
man.
even comes close, huh?
No, I think that's like a few years off. I think there's people who've tried to assume a position similar to the one that he's kind of created for himself, and then people are like, the YouTubers who have a really big following and they're more, I don't know, they're more vocal and they talk with their hands and they're very engaging. But yeah, I mean, no one's on his level, not yet. Anyway, we're a few years off that, in my opinion.
Yeah, do you think it's just like a question of enough people going through the space that eventually we land on someone like him?
Yes and no, but it's kind of like we don't need a Gary Vee in blockchain because it's like this is just a very niche technical space.
Subcategory, exactly, right?
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like, there wasn't a Gary Vee for HTTP, like, oh yeah, fucking HTTP is going to change the world. We don't need one. We have, these hype men and these marketers, but I think the good ones will span across blockchain and other, niche technologies.
Fair enough. Yo, what's up, everyone in chat? What's up, Sine Vasil? BS Witzel, everybody. Right now I'm chatting with Mr. Charles Reed.
What's
It's
up,
always
everyone?
a good time talking to you, man.
You too, brother.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
It's been too long, exactly.
Consensus now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It
When
feels
was
like
that?
it was
March?
yesterday.
May?
Yeah.
That was
Are you hitting up any conferences this year?
like I'm playing with the idea of Korea,
Okay.
but I don't know, man. I feel like the the attendance is pretty much the same across the board now for all the conferences.
Mhm.
It's kind of like it's peaked and the same people go. There's a few new people,
Okay. So
but
it's not worth
it's
the 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 price
mm,
necessarily, time
well,
wise,
yeah. I mean,
all
look,
that shit.
I will never buy a fucking $1,000 conference ticket.
Oh
You
yeah,
just shouldn't.
fuck
You
that.
shouldn't.
No.
Buy Bitcoin instead. Like $1,000, okay, yeah. Why would I buy a ticket for a
Mhm.
conference? Like, just buy Bitcoin.
Mhm.
And if you know someone who's going, you can usually borrow their pass and go inside.
Yeah.
And most of the stands are like, there'll be uh, a few good projects or companies, but mostly it's going to be pretty standard. So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, like I usually go to see firstly people who I've already met but haven't engaged with properly,
Mhm.
and secondly
To
to
hang out
fucking
with me.
party, man. Yeah, well, it's that same thing, right? We have fun. We have fun when we
Mhm.
go to these things. So
Mhm.
that's why I'm toying with the idea, because the last one was consensus, and that was fun. And there's a bunch of my friends going, and now it's a good excuse to go hang out with some people, but
Yeah.
also engage with people and projects that you've maybe met before but haven't really connected with yet, and you want to pursue. So
Mhm.
yeah, but Korea's expensive, man, especially like flying from England it's a lot of money, and I'm kind of lazy now, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
I
It will
f-
be a last minute thing. It's always a last minute thing.
it's like whatever you're feeling at the time, and if it's right, type of thing.
Exactly. And also, like, I'll talk to my network and see, like, yo, who's going,
Mhm.
and then I'll decide. And I'll see, like, if there's any good artists playing at like
Mhm.
the after parties and stuff, because like Blau at Midnight Sun
Mhm.
last year
Nice.
was fucking crazy, man.
Yeah.
That was such a good night. Like, and I'd love to do that again. That club's shut down now, but
Really.
yeah, like stuff like that would I'm down to do that again. But I also want to be smart with where I'm going to and where I'm putting my money, because there's so many good buys right now in the market,
Mhm.
and now's the time. Everyone's like, oh, I'm capitulating, and it's like, no. Like, I
So
don't know if you saw XLM today. I'm sure you
yeah,
did.
man, absolutely.
But it's going kind of crazy, and I think movements like that, they definitely signify a change for some other some other pumps. So
Mhm. Yo, what's up, Ace?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
hey, Ace, man,
Hey,
Hey,
dude.
Charles, what's up, man?
nice to connect with you, man. Oh, well, I know we've been chatting for a while, but we never talked.
Yeah, I think I was supposed to join the stream last time. I think I missed you. Yeah, nice to be on stream with you,
Yeah,
dude.
for sure, man. We're gonna have a good one tonight, I think.
Yeah, man, I'm ready to make some money. This, whatever alt season we're getting.
Yeah, fucking make some money, boys.
I love the excitement, and it's fun. It's funny because you're just saying that now is an opportunity, right? When people are capitulating, there are a lot of pumps going on right now, and that's
Yeah, it's funny. It's
Mhm.
like I don't really pay much attention to Twitter, or like
Mhm.
people say oh, this is the oh, everyone's bearish, everyone's bullish. Like, you can fucking tell.
Mhm.
It's been exciting, but
I'm excited about that Litecoin move, man. I'm so happy on that. I think I'm up like 15% on that. So
nice.
happy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sat like pretty flat right now, to be honest. I
Mhm.
haven't traded in probably a month. No trades, none at all. I'm just accumulating some long-term positions, and I'm just fucking relaxing, because I just you know got kind of wrecked on
Mhm.
Algorand. I'll put my hands up.
Okay.
I bought like 70 cents. I've averaged down now, but got kind of wrecked on that, man.
Yeah. I took a
But
loss on that
it's a
too.
big position for me because I was in the private sale, so I'm still up, but like
Okay.
I doubled my position at like 65, 70 cents. But luckily I got in at 7 cents in private sale because I contributed to a node, so you know that was a big win.
There you go.
Yeah, but since then, I've just seen this shit burn down. I'm like, damn, like I've erased some of my profits. So, but I'm still buying up because they have a really solid staking program, and I can't be bothered to trade right now. To be honest, like about 2 weeks ago, the market was so boring. It was so dull. I was like, this is not fun to trade. It was very slow. It's picking up now, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, this is like when Bitcoin went sideways from 3 to 4K. That was a boring time.
Yeah. So what do you think is going to happen next with Bitcoin?
I'm bullish. I'm betting on up.
I'm still bearish, but that's just me. I'm a little worried until we clear a certain point.
What's your target,
What's that
Ace,
point?
if we do go to the downside? Do you have one?
Yeah, I can take a look.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if we do go down, I think like 8.1, 8.2 would be interesting.
I'm thinking like 9. I mean, if we do go,
you don't think we'll break? Oh, I mean, if we were to break down from, 9.2, or you're just saying like we're gonna go down before we go up, type thing.
Not even that. Just like I'm just playing it as I see it. I mean, I've been noticing like things have been going up while Bitcoin goes sideways down. So it's like, what's going on? So, I mean, I'm assuming right now I'm watching the 99 area. If we can hold the 9900, that'd be awesome. But if not, I mean, I'm looking somewhere around like 94, 93, another bounce more before we even break down after that to the 88 range. Yeah.
Charles,
are you bullish, bearish, or you don't really give a fuck since you're accumulating?
The latter. Honestly, I just sat pretty on Bitcoin especially. Like I'm just buying slowly, moving in. I have a good position, so I'm not trying to trade the chop, man. Even like between 9 and 11, it's too time consuming for me.
Yeah, and your resources are better spent working on what you're building and what you're, creating.
Yeah, and just like relaxing. Relaxing's fun, man.
Like keeping
man.
But yeah, no. Like, look, I'm always bullish long term, and actually, right now, I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. But like, I don't check Blockfolio for like 2 or 3 days in the past month, so. That's just me. I mean, 2 years ago I would be checking every day, but now I'm just like, yeah. I think I will overtrade if I overcheck.
Yeah, man. As long as you know your own limits, that's the best.
Exactly.
That's the biggest thing, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. I cut down my trades by a lot over the last couple months. I've been very selective, and that's been very good for me so far.
Today was an exciting day with Stock World.
Yeah, seriously, you want to talk about it?
I wasn't paying too much attention. I saw that when Jerome Powell or whatever, they did the rate cut.
Yeah.
We like dumped. So like I had gotten into puts yesterday, so I got out like I think like 90% of my position for like 40-50%. So then after that, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and YOLO and hold on to like a couple contracts. Terrible idea.
Oh no.
So they flipped right after the meeting got done or whatever, he got done speaking, and they went back up, and I ended up going down like negative 60% on the contracts. But I already had pulled out a bunch of profit. I was just letting a little bit ride to see what would happen. So they don't expire till Friday. I still think we'll dump, but I don't know any fundamentals. I suck at that shit. I just trade whatever I see.
So would you associate this trade more to luck or based off something you saw beforehand?
I mean, I kind of already knew there was going to be some sort of volatility on the speaking day. It was just a matter of picking direction. So I picked down, and down and out. Honestly, both was right. Both was the right thing. It's just I happened to pick down, and that was what went down first.
Do you find that there's more odds of a speech of such a caliber to be negative or positive?
That's the thing. Like, I mean, apparently, like these things matter on like how much the rate cut is and how many people agree. Apparently, there's out of these 10 people, there's 3 people that were unsure. And immediately people were like, "Oh no, there's uncertainty." I'm like, "Why are you guys gonna go say that? 7 people voted. Why are you guys looking at the negative?" So, we'll see what happens. I'm just playing by ear. I'm still new to that part of things.
Yeah, yo, dude, did you guys see that post today about Binance requiring KYC for international, for some international account holders? Yeah. I think it was Drop Top Saki. He was trying to withdraw something from an IP that he hadn't used, and they requested KYC unless he sent it to a wallet he had already previously withdrawn to on that account. So that's fucked. You know, like what if you don't have it?
Yeah, that's strange. What was their reasoning for that? Was it like, did they claim it was like anti-fraud or whatever?
Here, actually, let me pull it up, so I don't talk out of my ass on this one.
Better not.
Okay. Here, abnormal withdrawal. Please check your withdrawal history to confirm that you did initiate the withdrawals in question before verifying your identity. If you find any withdrawals that you did not initiate, blah blah blah. Yeah, while your withdrawals are disabled, you will not be able to withdraw to any new addresses. However, you can withdraw to previous ones. So yeah, see, he has to verify it with that. That sucks. But then I think later on, if I'm not mistaken, let me. Yeah, so he's like, for whatever the reason before, just using a different address or IP didn't freeze the account up. It's sure better for security, but it's inconvenient as fuck, and who wants to do KYC anyways? I guess we can't go to a coffee shop or travel to a different country or withdraw to new addresses without KYC.
Damn.
Fuck. Yeah, that sucks. Do you think there's going to be a lot more of that kind of crunch down?
Oh yes.
Oh
Big
yeah.
time.
What can you
Big
tell us?
time, man.
Do you have any?
No, I don't. But like, I've heard like months back that September would be kind of rocky for stuff like this, and you know, so far it has been.
People had warnings. Yeah, exactly.
But you know, I think it only gets tighter from here. It's not going to get looser.
Hey you, welcome to
So
Bags TV.
we'll have to see what happens. But I heard like a bunch of people were moving from Binance, trying to, you know, trade KuCoin and stuff. Like, what about you guys? Are you still keeping funds on Binance or?
Yeah, my dumbass didn't withdraw
Me
from
too.
there in time, so kind of fucked right now. Kind of like in the middle of like, am I gonna get my money back? I don't mind KYCing because like,
Oh shit!
Don't lie to
to
me,
the-
Ace.
I really don't. Like, it's to the point where like you can't really buy a consumer can't really purchase Bitcoin unless you're buying it
I
off.
mean, it is, but it's kind of annoying, but
Yeah,
it's a good way
sketchier,
to
but
just-
if you care about your privacy,
yeah, for sure, and
Yeah.
especially with selling as well.
Mhm.
Fucking sell that shit for cash, boys.
Yeah, dude. No, absolutely. No fucking whisper. That's what I've been doing for the last couple of years. Like, fuck KYC, fuck any type of, you know, debit, wire, where they can freeze your bank account. Fuck all
Yep.
of that. Like, meet with people who have cash, and then it's your choice whether you want to actually be transparent with what you purchase, what you
Sure.
buy, what you do. I just fucking, and you can negotiate a much better rate with people, especially if you're selling or buying in a higher volume. So there's so many benefits.
I just wish they would come out with more USD pairs, man. I'm perfectly fine with trading
Yeah.
USD on a stock account.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. You know, but I think the space is like you said, Charles. It's just gonna keep. It's gonna get harder and harder, but there will also be solutions that will come out because.
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
Maverick.
Especially like, you know, these very decentralized solutions. You know, trading directly from a hardware wallet. One of the projects I'm working on, Liquid Swap, like lets you swap, any
Sounds
ERC20
naughty.
direct from your, direct from your hardware wallet or from MetaMask, and it
Interesting.
aggregates all the liquidity from multiple dexes. And I think stuff like this is gonna eventually.
Yeah, man. When I first started, I used Free Wallet, and like the way Free Wallet worked was, I mean, sure, I bought something off of an exchange, but I bought some. I remember it was ARD token, and it was some like Next token, and I transferred my Next token within the wallet for some ARD token. I didn't even have to go on an exchange. It was
websites now which aggregate all of the liquidity from all the dexes, and they just allow you to swap tokens back and forth, and the fees are getting lower and lower because there's more dexes, there's more liquidity.
Yeah, because like imagine buying XRP when it pumped and then exiting it out, not into Bitcoin, but into XLM, which pumped the following day.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And this is pretty much what I use now, because I don't need to send my, for example, ETH to local Ethereum and sell it. I can just swap it to,
whatever you want,
to a stable coin.
Oh, no.
If I think it's going to dump, I just swap it to a stable coin, and then I can just sit pretty for like 3 days, and that's what I've been doing. I just think stuff like that is just really, it's just going to slow the momentum on centralized exchanges even more than what we're seeing from, like, for example, Binance. Like, oh, sorry, US, you can't trade here anymore. We're going to see more of that, and then we're going to see more, DEX solutions which are coming. Even Lightning Network have like a swap solution now, which is crazy.
Yeah, man, the next 2 years we're gonna see some fucking cool projects and a lot of scams come up. Yeah, are you gonna blow the whistle on some of this shit eventually, Charles? I remember you were feeling quite angry a few weeks ago. Do you want to talk about that a bit?
I mean, like, there's no one particularly. It's just like, I'm happy to put my hands up and say Jura Network, which was supposed to be like last year, was like, in the OTC market was like quite hyped, and a lot of people wanted to buy Jura Network, and they were a bunch of fucking scammers. And they have so many unpaid invoices. I mean, to my company included, and my previous company. And yeah, like, they have a lot of people who are upset, and most of the engineers left. The CEO at the time, he left. It was replaced by someone else. She's a moron. But that's just, this is just one, but there's hundreds, and these are, optically considered to be very good projects, and they're considered to be very good investments. But like, when you actually do like boots on the ground business with them, you realize how shady they are. So this is why I just encourage everyone to be careful, even if, like, oh, the white paper's good, all the fundamentals are good, the token economics are good, because 9 out of 10 times, or probably not 9, let's say 7, and I'm speaking hypothetically here, but I've met a lot of projects where they say, this is our engineering team, and like, this engineer isn't full-time with them. He just said, yeah, sure, put me on the website, give me some tokens. And he's not actually building anything. So, on paper, it might look like a super solid fundamental project.
You're dressed up piece of shit.
It is, yeah. And like, you have to understand, you're not trading equity. You're not, you don't actually, you don't own anything. Yeah. So there's no one particular I want to, obviously I mentioned Jura, but
Kick Network.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, dude,
there's a bunch.
Man, fuck. Dude, the classic one was BitConnect. that was really what put a lens on.
That's a classic case for me of, like, I waited too late to execute. Like, I got in early enough to where I could have gotten past like 2 cycles of BitConnect of like successful like flipping, but then like I wanted to get in near the end, and I'm glad I didn't, because like they crashed like 2 months after. I was like, ooh,
that was bad.
Yeah.
Like, your whole YouTube channel is dedicated to this fucking project, and you're still pumping out videos about it.
The top was when he bought that BMW with his BitConnect money. I was like, the top.
Yeah, didn't he have to go and work in like Target or something?
Afterwards, I don't know.
I think he went to work in like Target or some shit, because he lost all of his money. He went all in.
You know what?
He probably sold his BMW.
You know what I think he did?
What?
I think that Target was a ruse.
Yeah, it might have been.
Because he got fake hacked too, or so-called hacked.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust any of them. Fucking scum.
Don't trust anything.
Don't trust anyone. Don't even trust me. Don't trust Ace. Don't trust.
Don't
Charles.
trust yourself. You guys can trust me. You guys can trust me out of everybody, but nobody else.
Yeah, I believe you, but I won't because you're not meant to trust anyone.
Right.
Yeah, Charles. Question.
Sure.
If you had to, no choice, had to give your private keys for someone to keep for you, to hold for you, who would it be? In
On
the space.
Twitter or generally? In the space?
In the space. Like, no choice.
I mean, look, honestly, like, I think you're pretty fucking trustworthy.
Hey, thanks,
I don't
man.
think you'd steal my shit.
Nah.
But I think Nye would.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely trust Nye
Yeah.
a lot. We've been around and we've seen some shit, and like he's had his ups and downs. He's been called out. He's a fucking solid guy. He works fucking hard, and I have a very good relationship with him. Definitely trust him. And Danny, Danny Les on Twitter. You've probably seen him.
Of course.
Danny's a very, very smart guy too. Very well connected, especially in the UK. And I would definitely. You know what? There's surprisingly high number of people who I've met in person who I would trust with my private key.
Mm-hmm.
More than I would trust my real friends, not because I don't trust them, but because they're fucking idiots and they wouldn't know how. Like, oh, how do I log in? Like, how, if something went bad.
I lost what you gave me.
I lost the paper.
I lost the paper. Like, you're fucking kidding me? That was the only paper. But there's a surprising number of people who I've met. I actually have met a lot of really stand-up people who I would trust. So, if you want to get my private keys, just hit me up, slide in my DMs, and
Right on it. But I agree with you. There are a few that I might trust even more than my in real life friends.
So, what about for you? Who would you trust?
Fuck.
Remember,
Honestly,
my co-host job depends on this answer.
I'd say Alex.
Alex,
Libertas.
yeah, I would trust Alex as well, 100%, dude.
Yeah.
He's such a nice guy. Sometimes I feel bad for not being a nicer guy. Like I'm like, damn, like he's such a hustler, man, but he just stays so nice, man. Like,
Yep.
maybe in like 2 years, a year, whatever,
He'll become
might be a
vicious.
little bit more like battle hardened. He might be a bit more like
CEO
But,
hardened.
but yeah, no, I agree, man. Alex is a great guy, man.
Yeah. Messiah as well. Crypto Messiah.
I think he blocked me,
Oh, okay.
but it's fine.
Yeah.
Lots of people block me.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm sure if I met him in person, it would be great. Like, when Nye met Crypto Fungus.
Yeah, I was there. We were there.
Yeah, you were there. Yeah, that's the night we met, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But, like, everyone was like, "Oh, these two motherfuckers, they have a rivalry," and then like they just met and they were like, "What's up, man?"
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was so wholesome. It was like, what the
Word.
fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
And like,
Fungus is like, I'm
Crypto Fungus
sorry.
made so many videos about him, but it was
Yeah.
like, no, I was just like, yo, it's cool. It's just funny, I laughed,
Mhm.
and it works. So I'm sure like most of these people who block each other and have like beef on Twitter, it's just like, I'm sure if you met in person, like you have a lot more in common than you think.
Water
You
under
have
the
to
bridge.
get here.
Yeah. Man, except for the fucking psychopaths, there are
Oh
a
yeah. I
few.
mean-
I would never reason with them in person.
Oh no. Mute him.
Yeah, beat me to it, fucker. It's like, block you first, bitch. I'm like, ah!
I just use a mute button now because they're like, when they're replying to you and talking to you, like they're just talking into a black hole. No one can hear it, so they're just wasting their time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Whereas if you block them, they can't actually reply. So it's like, you're not wasting their time anymore.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. That's a very good point. But the person I'm thinking of is not that situation. But I do have a couple
who's
people
it?
on mute, Gotta help pump the engagement. Make sure they hate on me a bit more.
I respect it.
Yeah. Ace, do you have any sworn enemies in the space? Anyone you want to oust?
Let me take a look.
It's like, let me see if I'm following.
Let me check my block list. No. I don't really have anybody that I dislike. I mean, I get along with pretty much everybody. That's my goal generally in life anyway, to get along with almost everybody. So, not really. I think I've discussed with you off stream who I would hope to have things I can't say happen on Twitch.
Right,
He's like, pass.
It's like, next. Yeah.
So, I think there's only like 1 or 2 people. That's it.
Of course. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's always one person that's gonna hate you, and you may not even have done shit to deserve it, but there has to be some type of equilibrium on the internet. You know what I mean?
If I meet you and I don't stare at you, like, or if I can't look at you in the eyes, I probably don't like you or I can't stand you.
I'll make sure I pay attention to our eye contact, okay?
Just look away from back to you the whole time.
Yeah, I'll be like, fuck, he doesn't like me.
Yeah, like, oh god, I thought we would get on really well, and we don't.
Yeah, no, exactly. I don't know. I'm a bit hard to look at for long periods, so it might be that, you know.
You look very different than I thought you would under that mask. I'm not going to talk about it, but I see why you wear the mask, dude.
Thanks, man.
I'm just playing. I'm playing, man. I'm playing.
It covers my elephant
I'm playing,
ears.
man. I was like, oh shit. This fucking Bagsy.
Dude, you know what? You had one of the most genuinely kind and welcoming reactions out of everyone I met at Consensus.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
It was very warm, so that's like the first thing I remember about you. But yeah, man, it was a great time.
I appreciate that very much, man.
Yeah, and the next time the drink's on me, by the way. I haven't forgotten.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love a free drink.
But yeah, if you guys have any questions in chat, make sure to type it down. Come say what's up. But yeah.
Hey you. Welcome to Bagsy TV.
I've been looking at a couple altcoins on Huobi, that type of stuff. Charles, do you have friends who trade on Huobi and stuff, or is the majority still elsewhere?
No, Huobi is definitely one of the. I mean, really, in the past 2 months, there's been more action there than Binance, in my opinion. Because, look, I'll be honest, Huobi are shady as fuck. From what I've seen and heard, they're shady as fuck.
Really,
you might think Binance are, but really Huobi, like a project will be completely dead. I think Mac actually pointed this out recently. Like,
really?
A project will be completely dead for months. They'll be accumulating really slowly at very low price, and then they'll just 2 or 3x the shit, and then they'll sell everything. And they know that the project's dead, but Huobi own a bunch of the the whole token economy, so they have loads of influence. But also I would be very careful holding large sums on Huobi, because I've heard that that they do some shady stuff with user funds. So your balance might show that you have X amount of Bitcoin, but if you try to withdraw it, it might not actually be there because they might be trading with it.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Wow.
that's that. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, a big accusation, but like I've heard this from a lot of people in China. So, and a lot of people will just generally try and avoid, large trades on Huobi for that reason. So, yeah, it's a crazy time, to be involved in the centralized exchange space, because it's so manipulated. It's really crazy.
Who would you say are the biggest thieves? Not necessarily as the person itself, but what category of job, or of is it the exchanges, is it the market make, you know what I mean?
I think it's probably the exchanges. Yeah, they benefit the most off of everyone else losing.
They were made to make money.
Exactly, and that's kind of it makes sense. I think it's the exchanges. I think a lot of these people who make their we're gonna make this crazy ICO, this scalable blockchain, it runs X transactions per second. It's incredible. It's better than Ethereum. Blah blah blah. Like I think these guys are actually a lot of the time, especially the engineers, developers, they're quite innocent. Like they're just tech guys, and they have got good tech. But I think they end up being in a tricky spot. But it's the exchanges who ultimately win here every time, because listing fees can be as high as like $500,000.
Fuck.
Yeah, I know that last year, like some of the projects I was working with last year, they were asked for between 250 to $500,000 for listing on some of these exchanges, which is crazy. And some of them say, oh, we don't have a listing fee, but we ask for a donation, or we ask for this, and that is an insane amount of money. And then if they're doing Launchpad or IEO or whatever, they'll ask for like 5 to 10% of the entire supply of tokens in some cases, which is
and just dump on everybody.
So much. Like that's no better than investing in an IPO, and a VC is going to dump on you. It's the same thing. So yeah, but exchanges always win here, and I'm looking forward to the day they don't anymore, to be honest.
We have a question in chat from Storm Shadow. Would getting a job with an exchange like Coinbase or Gemini, I'm US based, be an exercise in futility?
No, because I tried to get a job there. I could have gotten a job there. I still could technically, but they got rid of all the remote jobs. But I wanted the remote one, so I could be at home.
Fair enough.
Real talk, like these guys pay fucking good money. Like, go and work for them, man. Like, unless you're like a fucking purebred anarchist and you're like, a cryptographer, and you're like, oh, fuck the system. Like, go and work for Coinbase. Like, why did you come here? I know most of the people here came here for money, so go and fucking work for Coinbase. If you didn't come
some
here,
insider information.
then don't go work at Coinbase. But if you did, it's a great place to work. I'm sure in 5 years it will be like, yeah, I worked at Facebook, or I worked at Coinbase. I think it's a fantastic move if you can get a job there, especially if you're in a region where they're hiring. I would never do that because people said, oh, this is against what crypto stands for, because the truth is you probably came here for money. If you didn't, then don't. Like, I personally, I would probably never go and work at Coinbase, but I might go and work at another similar company maybe. But it really depends on what your ambitions are and why you really came here. Because the truth is, most people came here because they saw Ethereum pump or Bitcoin pump, or Ant shares or whatever.
R.I.P.
Fuck. I came here so I could talk in front of a camera all fucking day.
In a mask as well.
In a fucking mask. Yeah, exactly. My life. But,
no, you're a really good educator though, man. I just got to shout you out on that.
I don't think so, but I appreciate it.
You are, no, for sure,
Thanks,
man. And you're consistent.
Trash, man. What?
Maybe he is, but he's consistent. Always putting out.
Yeah, I got a lot to learn, but I thank you. I appreciate that.
I always tell Bagsy he puts a lot of time into this stuff, because I always see his posts 8:30 in the morning when I'm feeding the dogs. I'm like, this guy, he's up again early in the morning posting out charts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. I don't have any blinds in my home, so it's first light. I don't know if you guys do that, but it's a really healthy way of waking up.
It is, unless you go to bed at 5 a.m. like me.
Yeah, that's the drawback. But typically I'll sleep through it if I'm fucking tired,
Bagsy was up late the other night.
Yeah.
What's this guy still doing up tweeting and replying?
Dude, you're like my dad on this fucking platform. What are you doing still up? Go back to bed. Storm Shadow. Currently, I manage $100 million in government contracts for New Jersey. I applied to Gemini for procurement analysis, which is what my job is. Interesting.
Hey, Amazon's hiring something in the field that you're looking for, sort of. I would look at Amazon's job because they have a couple things that are along the lines of that, and they're just launching it. They're just labeled as blockchain.
Dope. Good luck, man. That sounds really exciting. I mean, if you see something here, this is a great time to get a job at a big dick company where okay, maybe I'm like, you know, going to upset some people when I'm saying like, yeah, apply at Amazon, apply at Coinbase. I'm not saying that, but like, you shouldn't feel like you shouldn't do that, because if you would do that in your normal job, if it's your normal progression, why the fuck wouldn't you do it? Especially if you came here for money, which most people did, right?
Not only that, now's the time you probably want to apply in general, because like if I was somebody hiring, I'd want to hire people now versus just hiring people who are in it for a bull run.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, good things take time. Man, if you had to work with one cryptocurrency company, which one would it be, Charles?
I don't know. It's hard to say without like knowing all the people on the ground.
Enough,
but
yeah.
like I'll just like go public about this. Like I was like kind of working with Ergo, and I really like Ergo. I think it's like a really solid hybrid blockchain. The company behind Ergo is called Blocko. They're a Korean blockchain company. They built CoinStack. They've been around since 2014. They basically launched the same time as Hyperledger, same time as Ethereum. They actually are the biggest blockchain company in Korea. They're very successful. They have like 25 million endpoints on their blockchain technology, and they built Ergo. So naturally I was, you know, really interested in this because it's a hybrid solution, very different to what IBM are doing. And I spent some time with them, and I really like what they're doing and wish them the best luck. And that was somewhere I was, you know, kind of focusing my efforts, because I think hybrid is very, very essential for enterprise adoption. That said, there's a bunch of other companies I'm really interested in like kind of learning more about, and then seeing if I can help them, because I worked with Sovereign recently, and Sovereign was like my favorite project. I think it's incredible. I don't know if you guys know about it. I won't ramble about it, but it's basically decentralized identity. So whereas at the moment to board a plane you need a physical passport, the idea here is that you would be able to use a digital one, and that future is not far away. And Sovereign have built the technology to do that, and it's because of zero knowledge proofs that they've been able to do that. And they're building on Hyperledger, but it's a little bit different. But Sovereign was probably, until 6 months ago, that was the company that I wanted to work with. You know, I wanted to go. I was so excited about what they were doing, and I actually got to work with them, and very, very, you know, happy about that. And it was a great experience, and I'm sure I'll do more with them in the future. But right now, there's no one, you know, apart from them two.
Do you think that would you attribute your acquiring of that job more on luck or on your skill in this particular situation?
No, I you know what? It's neither. I think it's network.
Okay.
It's network. It's strange because Sovereign was like on my radar kind of 18 months ago, very early stage then, and I invested through, you know, with a small group, and I never considered the possibility of being able to work with them, but you slowly start to build them relationships. And then one of the people who invested with me, he went on to start a fund, and that fund also invested again in Sovereign. And then I was, you know, having a drink with him, and he said, oh look, you know, I think they might need some help with something. And I said, what is it? He said, you know, helping them, you know, raise the final round and craft the terms and looking over the token economics. And I said, look, you know, let's reconnect. And he had built, I had a relationship with some of the people at Sovereign, but he, during the time I wasn't talking with them, had built an even more powerful relationship. And then I reconnected with him, and then he said, you know, he recommended me, and that's how I got the job. And I just think networking and keeping in contact with people who, you know, are serious and who, you know, want to make an impact is probably the most pivotal thing you can do. And now I would put it all down to that, actually.
Thank you. That's a good answer. I guess that's where the benefit of, you know, reaching out and meeting people in the flesh can come in handy.
Yeah, definitely. And it gets tiring, but it's definitely worth showing your face and you know, making a name for yourself, just meeting people, introduce yourself, you know, tell people what you do. It really goes a long way.
Stop. Oh, my bad. My dog's just came up and started like eating shit off my table. Stop! Get out of here. Hold on. My bad.
It's all good. Pimo says a question. How would you solve the Oracle issue with the identity project from Sovereign?
I can't answer that.
Okay.
I wish I could. I'm sorry. I can't.
It's not your expertise.
No, it's not. And I don't want to be, you know, sat here trying to pretend and like I could answer that. But firstly, I've had probably 7 beers, and secondly, like, while I'm technical enough to pitch and raise money, there are people who I would bring in to really, especially with oracles. The Oracle thing is largely based around the Stewards program, which is, you know, it's basically like a node, and these nodes, you know, will basically act as oracles. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to answer that, not effectively anyway, so I won't even try, I'm afraid.
Thanks, man. No problem. Yeah, it is a hard question.
It is, yeah, it is for sure. Yeah, it is, and like a lot of my trust and understanding of, you know, what Sovereign is and what Sovereign can do is through Phil Windley, who's just an absolute mastermind of identity on the internet, and he's been a pioneer of, you know, internet technology since the very beginning. But also Outlier Ventures, who are, in my opinion, the best VC in all of Europe. They are, you know, levels ahead. They're not a normal fund, they're an LLP, so they all invest their own money. They have a lot more cash to spend than most VCs do. You know, they're not tied up by management fees and stuff like that, so they can deploy a lot of capital. They're investing in token economies, not really bothered about equity, and they're, you know, they led the round with Sovereign, so that for me is good. And you know, they did lots of other projects. They did Ocean Protocol and Fetch, and you know, people will boil that down to, oh, you know, Ocean didn't do very well, it did an IEO on Bittrex, but the technology of Ocean Protocol is really interesting. And I think Outlier Ventures, their portfolio of companies and the hackathons that they have planned, Diffusion DevCon, which is actually next month in Berlin, people should check that out and look at who's going, how many developers are going, and how many people they've got in one place who actually know how to develop, because you're not seeing that anywhere else in the world. So that's definitely worth checking out. And you know, I've definitely put some bets there, because I really trust that these guys can make Sovereign work and really give them the resources that they need.
Thank you. Yeah, it's so hard picking a project in terms of as an investment vehicle, because let's say even if the tech is good, oftentimes the price won't necessarily reflect the quality of a project.
Yeah.
Seeing how they mostly go through the same cycles, they mostly see the same types of drawdowns. It's controlled by most of the same, you know, players in a way. So yeah, it's
tough. And
it's
also
tough.
again, like you know, like we were saying earlier with exchanges, you know, if you want to play the game, you have to play the game with the exchanges, and you have to pay them, and you have to give them a bunch of tokens. So that's where it gets even more harder, because you're like, okay, yeah, I really like this project, I think they're great, but you don't know how many tokens they've given which exchange, you don't know how much they paid, so you do have to be very careful.
Yeah, man. Any tips on investing into any type of cryptocurrencies? Anything you'd like to drop on them?
No, not really. Just don't. Just if you're gonna honestly, like I don't know. I can't really even comment on that.
It's tough.
Things with pictures with animals. That sounds like a good investment.
Things with yeah.
I mean, look, on that topic, Doge is gonna pump soon, so fucking buy some Doge on Gate, long that shit. It's gonna pump. You'll make more money on that. Like, you know, pictures with animals, man.
Oh, that's what you meant, man. I was slow on that one.
What did you think I said?
Fuck, I didn't even know. I was like, this mask hides my dumbass look sometimes.
He's a crypto dog.
Yeah, dude, this is why I wear this mask. I look like a dumbass half the time trying to process what you guys are saying. Yeah, hey, what's up, Cold Blooded Chiller? What's up, Monkey? Yeah, Cold Blooded Chiller said, well, Charles has a
Hey,
new
what's
follower.
up, man?
Gang.
Yeah,
Dude, he's so cool. I love that guy.
yeah, welcome, boys. Yeah, what's up,
These guys
DC?
pumping out serious content in Max fucking group, man. Like
Yeah.
big charts. I'm sat there. I'm like, damn. I wish I had more. Not time, because I have time to trade. I'm just like, I wish I was more patient. I wish I was like, you know, more motivated. I would just like, I would trade these charts because they're fucking good, man. These calls are good.
I purposely don't share these guys because, like, I don't know. I just want to keep these guys all to myself. That's why I don't do follow for follows. It's like maybe once in a while I'll do a follow for like 1 or 2 people, but
You don't want to spoil the goods?
no, man. I'll keep the liquidity to myself for these good traders.
Yeah, yo, Ace, after this, where are you going to be streaming?
I'll be on my Twitch streaming with Duck. We'll be doing a little bit of TA and doing more like stock option stuff because he got into options and dude, he's fucking killing it with like hundreds of percents here and there.
Nice.
Fuck. Yeah. He's,
Yeah, Charles, I don't know if you have an options trading platform over where you are, but if you do, man, get into it and I'll guide you through the beginning just for fun.
That would be awesome, man. I appreciate that. I'll hit you up about that for sure. I mean, like I said, I'm kind of lazy right now. I need, you know, all it takes is one morning. I'll wake up early and I'll get out of bed and I'll be like, "Yo, today I'm gonna trade stock options with Ace," and then and then I'm good to go. But yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Yo, so I guess on that note, I won't hop on Ace's stream, but I'll watch it for sure. Charles.
Hey, man, you're welcome to come on, dude.
Oh shit! I mean, I don't want to. If you want to have me, I could come on for like 15 minutes, no problem.
Yeah, man, come on down. We can chit chat and see what you think about a couple charts and stuff.
my child TA on stocks and shit.
Your non-biased opinion.
My
Yeah, I've been texting
non-FA
Bagsy
opinion.
every once in a while. I'm like, yo, Bagsy, where's the divergences at on SPY? And he has no idea what he's looking at. He's like, but I don't know. It looks kind of bullish.
Yeah, it's kind of. But dude, we've been pretty on point with that shit. You
Yeah,
know?
it's been really, really good. It's been really good. 'cause you don't
Silver.
know- Yeah, silver was the best thing, man. Like, oh, I'm so glad I was
Silver
talking
was
to
a good play.
Yeah, you got
Bagsy
it on
had
it
me
too,
selling
huh?
the top.
A little.
Yeah, the top, and then called the second leg down.
Beautiful, man.
If I'm not mistaken, did I say up on that second leg down, Ace?
Yeah, it bounced right at that. Filled all the gaps and bounced.
Yeah. But did I call down before it filled the gap, or was I calling up? I think I was calling down. Anyways, whatever. It was
A little bit of both.
I'm happy you made money. But
Yeah, 1800% shit.
But yo, everyone in chat, yo, Charles, thank you for coming on. Ace, thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
It's been a
Charles, you're a
pleasure,
cool dude, man.
Yeah, you too, man. It's been great talking to you guys, and you know, anytime you want me to jump on stream, just
Fuck yeah,
shout.
I'd love to have you on, and everyone watching, thank you for being here.
Yeah,
Make sure
thanks,
you follow
everyone in the
these
chat,
two
man.
cats. They're
Give
definitely
Bagsy a
worth it.
follow. You know, Bagsy's got a donate button now. You can send
Hey!
Dogecoin. It's about to
Yeah.
pump. We're gonna get on Gate.
Exactly, if it's for this.
No,
for
I
the
appreciate
fun.
everyone. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Hey.
And yeah, look, I'm gonna hit the sack, but it was good talking to everyone.
Have a great night.
Peace,
and,
guys.
See you, man.
See you. Take care, everyone at home.